Hi, I'm Michael. Welcome to my YouTube channel. What if by changing one question that we ask children, or changing the way we ask a certain question, could change that child's future for the better? I believe that's possible, and I'd like to share with you how we as parents and educators can actually make that happen. If you've ever looked at a conversation between an adult and a small child, it usually consists of three basic questions. First, hi, what's your name? Second question, what a great name, how old are you? Third, and here's where the issue starts, so what do you want to be when you grow up? Their answers are always so cute. I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a nurse, or I want to be president of the United States. Here's the problem. We never stop asking them that question. That question plagues them throughout their entire academic life. When they get to high school, guidance counselors make it the most important question they're asked. Whether the student wants to go to university, trade school, or even the military, the school needs to make sure they're adequately prepared with the proper curriculum. As parents and educators, we have to realize that there's a better way for us to ask that question if we were only brave enough to ask it. We'll be getting to that question in just a moment. If the student does go to college, the question changes form, but the meaning stays the same. What's your major? In a modern society that values specialization, we're teaching our children more and more about less and less. We've created a system that penalizes dreams while placing priority on SMART goals. Our children are taught if their goals and plans are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, their goals and plans probably have value. No dream in the history of mankind has ever met that test. No dream that has ever led to the greatest accomplishments of mankind ever will. So, what if we as parents and educators actually realize this? And what if we as parents and educators change the way we ask the question to reflect that reality? What if we stopped asking them what they wanted to be when they grow up, a position to be occupied or a title to be held, and instead asked them what they wanted to do, a task to be accomplished or a challenge to be solved that required multiple skill sets? What if, in 1865, at a time when women were deemed unfit to practice medicine, Mary Edwards Walker traded her dream for SMART goals, hadn't become the Army's first female surgeon, and the first and only female to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor? Would life look different today for women pursuing careers in medicine or the military? What if, in 1962, President John F. Kennedy traded his dream for SMART goals and never uttered the phrase, "We choose to go to the moon"? Would life look different today for anyone benefiting from that technology? And what if, in 1963, at a time when African Americans were considered separate and inferior, Martin Luther King Jr. traded his dream for SMART goals and never told us, "My four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character"? Would life look different today in a world that didn't embrace equality? Interestingly enough, the most innovative companies in the world, the ones parents and educators hope will employ their specialized children, know that specialization doesn't drive the innovative process. These companies understand that innovation happens at the cross-section of disciplines, not within the disciplines themselves. They form multidisciplinary teams, and through collaboration, the most innovative ideas emerge. These companies also know that if it's been proven to work in groups, it can happen with individual minds as well. That begs us, parents and educators, to ask the question, what if that question fostered cross-functional mindsets and removed the need to teach a generation of children to think outside of the box because they were taught instead to believe that there is no box, there never was, and there never will be? What if the greatest challenge to us as parents and educators isn't to be the light in our next generation of children, but to reflect the light in our children that already exists by challenging the status quo and not forcing them into a box they'll have to fight their way out of the rest of their life? So would you, as a parent or educator, take the risk of challenging the status quo to ask that question? And is the future of our children worth taking the risk of challenging an entrenched check-the-box mindset in our society? These leaders believe the answer is yes. They taught us the hope of their dreams, not goals, can change the future of children everywhere. As parents and educators, our legacy will be to have the courage to continue that tradition and support the next generation of children who will be brave enough to dream the dreams that will change the futures and destinies for everyone. So, as parents and educators, I'm inviting you today to take action, to engage our children, and to stop asking them the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And instead ask them, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? I'm confident that many of them are actually looking forward to having us ask that question and giving us some really incredible inspirational answers that we as parents and educators could never see coming. Thanks for taking time with me today. Watching this video, I hope it inspires you to subscribe to this channel, like it, and share it with your social networks. Until next time, have an absolutely awesome day and never stop trying to make a difference.